Hello and welcome in another one. I was gone for a while, I was a little bit occupied, well, let's say I was kidnapped by aliens, for example. But now I'm back and the CRF is also back and it looks completely different than previous videos because I went wild with the black matte spray can and I paint the whole bike, so now it's all black. I like it. Let me know what you think in the comments. But the color is not the only thing I changed. I also changed oil 4 days ago. I used to run a motul 7100 10W40 and I changed to Castrol Power 1 10W40. And what I noticed immediately after oil change, that the clutch is sliding and I'm not able to get the bike up as easily on the back wheel. Yes, I do drive on the back wheel sometimes, only in the private properties and under supervision of professionals. So I need to go back to motul because Castrol makes the clutch slide much more, and the kick from the engine when I release the clutch on the third gear especially comes so late that there is not enough power to lift up the bike. So I'm going to change the oil now back to motul. Unfortunately, I have to drain brand new Castrol into the garbage can. Also, I'm going to change the oil filter because why not? They're not that expensive. And then I'm going to take you on a small trip on the bike because the weather in Norway this summer, it's beautiful, it's amazing. We have over 30 degrees in some places, which is quite unusual, even in summer. So let me warm up the bike, warm up it well so I can get as much of old oil out from the engine. Then we're going to fill it up with the motul 7100 and then we're good to go. So one of the screws is corroded and damaged, so I have to use some homegrown techniques to get it out. With my favorite tool, which is a hammer. I'm kidding, of course, it's not my favorite tool, but sometimes you have to use it. And of course that screw, as soon as it's removed, is going to the garbage and it will be replaced with a brand new one. There you go. I'm gonna drain the oil, then I'm gonna make a bike stand straight to drain the oil filter housing and the rest of the oil from the engine. I did replace the factory drain plug with the magnetic one, so I'm interested what's on it after just 4 days. I'm guessing nothing. Not much, just powder, probably from the clutch. So the drain plug is nice and clean, new copper washer, and let's get the oil filter out. I just want to get as much oil as possible out from the engine. That's why I heated up very, very well. The fan was going on, so the engine was as hot as it could be on the idle. And now I'm holding it straight so everything drains. Please don't do this at home, especially with bikes heavier than that, because you might end up under the bike. There you go. Much more oil comes out. Even when it stops draining, you lift the bike up, you hold it for a minute, you put the bike back on the side stand and more oil comes out. Even if I do that, there's still some oil inside the engine, which I'm never going to get out. But it's a nice fresh oil, so it's not a problem. The problem is when you have a 10-year-old oil inside, then it's a good idea to sometimes flush the oil 2 or 3 times. It's quite expensive because every single time you have to drain this oil and throw it away. But it will clean the engine quite nicely from inside. Let me lift it up once more. Please don't do this at home. And back to the side stand, and more oil comes out, so yeah. So I'm gonna wait now until it stops dripping. I'm gonna put back the oil plug, and I can put the bike on the lift and make it straight so I can open the oil filter. A service, I don't know how you want to call it, super easy to mount. And it works actually well. It has some damages under it, so it did its job. There is nothing on the engine block and the frame, so it works. It's made of plastic, but it really works. And I don't think I need any type of hardcore thick aluminum plates for that kind of bike. I smashed it on a rock outside here once, very hard. I was kind of worried that it actually did some damage, but the plate took everything, so it's a good product. Yes, let's fill up some oil. So what's gonna happen now is very simple. You just fill up the engine with the brand new oil until the level is between minimum and the maximum. Sometimes there's a dipstick, sometimes there's a little oil window. Basically, if you don't understand how this system works, please don't do it. This is super easy. If you cannot get your head around that, give it to somebody else. Now the oil level is at the maximum, but as soon as I start it, it will get sucked into the channels, into the oil pump, into the oil filter. It will get distributed around the engine, and then we have to refill it because it's probably going to be under minimum. Now all you have to do is add some oil until the level is between minimum and maximum. Yeah, I like most of you, to have my oil very close to the maximum, even when it's cold. Nothing bad will happen if it's almost at the maximum when the oil is cold. It won't spill over and anything like that. Most of the bikes are recommended to check the oil when its engine is hot. I do it when it's cold. So what I did, I filled up to the maximum, and then I add a little bit more. I'm talking about 50 milliliters of oil extra, so it's just above the maximum. You can see a bubble start to form at the top of the eye. I do this because I drive sometimes in an awkward position. My bike is in a strange position. Of course, yes, I'm talking about back wheel driving and doing stupid stuff in the forest and yeah, stuff like that. I like to have a little bit more. I'm talking about 50 milliliters, up to 100 milliliters. I do this on most of the bikes that I know I'm going to do stupid stuff. If you're using your bike like a normal human being, please keep your oil at the maximum level when the engine is warm, but not below minimum when the engine is cold. So somewhere in between, you're good to go. No balaclava today, no gloves, and I removed the inner layer of my jacket and my pants or trousers, whatever you want to call them. For a second I forgot I have a motorcycle, not a huge car. I don't know why I was waiting. I guess I'm still sleeping. That's all for today. I need to go home, put this video together, and start recording another one, which is going to be about a Honda VT 125 Shadow. Because yes, I just bought 125 Shadow and I want to make a video about it because it's great little motorcycle. I drove it yesterday and I had so much fun with it. So in the next episode there is going to be a Honda Shadow 125cc. Small bike, huge potential, and lots of fun riding it, but that in the next episode. And for today, thank you very much for watching, and as always, see you in the next one.